and thermal lance, as well as weapons 1.
Which is just as good, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when he's got as many sentry as he does.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's nothing like sentry and thermal lance together in a big potent ball.
Yeah, he's also sunk a lot of resources.
He's gonna lose his Phoenix. Oh, he lost a Phoenix for no good reason.
Oh yeah.
Flying over a ball of Hydra. I was gonna say Zealots, but those aren't Zealots.
But yeah, what I was saying before, he's sunk a lot of extra minerals, like what I would have been spending money on Zealots, into a 3rd expansion, and he's got a bunch more gateways. Which let's get a total gateway count here. He's got, whoa. That is 9. No, that's Nexus. So 8 gateways total.
And I like the wall on the left side of that 3rd. That's a great idea. It's only powered off 1 pylon though, and the Hydra could really exploit that.
Yeah, absolutely. But Hydra are pretty slow off creep, so
we're gonna see that creep highway, the express creep highway from Overlords right now. Looks like Hydra is pushing up the map to make a push against ogsmc, and it looks like his Phoenix might get caught here. 1 goes down, which I think was a little unnecessary, but he's trying to get rid of those Overlords before it becomes a problem. Here comes ogsmc's ball down the middle, and are we going to see some clutch force fields? We do see some very nice force fields.
Oh, but Roach Burrow is going to negate that quite a bit.
It's true, and he needs to back up those Colossus, and he does. However, Hydra is just squishing up against the wall. He's not microing back, which I think he does need to do. He's not burrowing either. I don't know where he is, but he just threw his roaches into that. And now because of the gateway count, ogsmc is very much able to replenish his army. Hydra taking his 4th in this battle. I think he's used to being ahead of, bases ahead of the Protoss.
Yeah, without that initial delay that MC created by harassing with those Phoenix, I do think, like, playing in this style, Hydra would have had enough to crush that. But since MC was very, very good about putting him a little bit behind, and is he going to snipe this Stargate?
I think it's going to go down.
Oh, no.
Oh.
38 health.
Anyway, going back to this, I think Hydra's playstyle, he doesn't worry about micro too much. Because I think during that fight, he went over to his base to macro. He dropped that base. He dropped his 4th. He wasn't even watching his army. And it just got destroyed on the force fields. But normally, I can imagine the Protoss is only on 2 bases while Hydra's taking his 4th. And that's acceptable for him. He can lose those roaches and then replenish them. And it really wears on the Protoss. I mean, I know I've played games like this where roach after roach after roach comes at you, and it's just exhausting.
Yeah, if you take a look at the supply count now, it's 151 to 192 in Hydra's favor. So Hydra really staying on top of his macro here.
Very incredible macro.
I think I'd consider it acceptable for him to go back in macro, just because that he was in a good arc at that point. It wasn't like his roaches weren't attacking after he burrowed underneath the force field.
Definitely.
But his everything else stuck behind the force field.
And he got caught in combat while he was at a bad angle. However, the Corruptors are going to annihilate the Colossus. He does have Immortals, but one of them is not shooting. And those force fields are definitely working for ogsmc. But once again, Egidra not really making use of Burrow. He's just throwing his units through the force fields. And I think Idra's losing a lot more than he needs to.
He's going to get repelled again here. A nice blink by MC, just to get off some extra damage.
We're not seeing the same efficient Egidra that we saw against TLO in Game 3. He's got the macros again, but I remember Game 3, he was spending every penny, but he wasn't wasting a dime of it,
Yeah, he was really good with his hold position. And just making sure his units don't slam headfirst into the Terran ball. And I'm not sure if it's just an adjustment against Protoss that he's making here, or what the deal is. But you can see MC is completely switched out of Stargate Tech and Colossi. So these Corruptors really aren't doing anything. And there's 11 of them here. Well, I can't really count. There's over 10 Corruptors. And not over 9,000, but over 10.
ogsmc getting a hold of the Gold Expo in the middle, in the midst of all this.
A little bit of a misclick on some of these Hydra, too. Oh, okay, there he goes.
Oh, he grabbed them, yeah.
Still some stuff rallied in there. A free Hydra and a couple Lings.
Yeah.
Oh well. But MC here, he's closing the gap. I'd really like to see, is there a greater spire for... where is the spire? There it is. Yeah, it's morphing now. But until then, these corruptors really aren't going to do much.
So we have 2-0 grades for OGSMC. We have 2-1 for Egidra. And no air weapons yet. Do we have melee weapons at all for Egidra?
Clouded circling here. No, just Carapace. And actually, MC has weapons 3 now.
Very nice. And good timing for that upgrade too, just in time for this engagement. And that'll really help his Immortals do a lot of damage here, as well as his Stalkers. And OGSMC, very smart. That was not a good spot for him to engage.
Yeah. And being able to kite Hydra like that, just... Hydra is so slow off creep. And really, like, there's not too much in the realm of retreating when you're attacking all the way across the map with Hydra. I think it's better to just let them deal their damage than to try and run away and like have them get sniped anyway just because they're so freaking slow.
And look at this, researching Storm for OGSMC and going back and getting Colossus again. So I think he's anticipating that greater spire from Egidra.
Yeah, and here you see 6 Broodlords are getting warped right now.
And I think he knew that was coming, and now that the Corruptor count isn't as large, he knows he can work with those Colossus again.
I think it's going to be up to Egidra to, you know, really start denying this gold expansion. And what he can do is sit these Broodlords and...
Broodlords are definitely the unit to do that with.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think MC will be able to do too much unless he makes a move right here. And
I think what he was trying to do there was hope that Egidra was not on hold position and tug a few back. And here comes the push from Egidra, moving forward with his Broodlords. But it looks like they're going to go for that Gold Expo, like we said. Look at this. Another Stalker that was at low health on the Xel'Naga Tower. They always use the Stalker with no health.
Yeah.
And the Broodlords, yeah, here they are on the Gold Expo. But Egidra sees the army pushing down the creep. The Broodlords are going to be out of position, and the Blink Stalkers blink in. They're going to get all those Broodlords. Storm on the Hydras and Roaches. Oh my god, OGSMC.
What a beast.
And Egidra losing all of his Broodlords with one misdirection. A
Yep.
bad choice. They were safe on that no man's ground, on that dead space, and Egidra GG's after that one confrontation.
OGSMC really showing that he can also be a macro player. Like you rarely see games go past 20 minutes with MC involved. Like when he decides to kill someone, he just goes and rips them apart. And like as evidence here, it just took a lot of tech to do that. So Egidra is still a formidable opponent. Loses to MC game 1.
OGSMC definitely knew when that window was, and he took it. I really like that. So this is game 1 between OGSMC versus Egidra. Egidra. Let's not cut his sponsors short. And, well, I guess his team. EG is a team. But yeah, great game. Let's go to game 2, guys.
I raged.
I raged.